Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Train Man, and welcome to the space plane hangar. What? What was I thinking? Well, I was thinking that Eve has an atmosphere. Because the delta V to lift off of Eve is even higher than it is to lift off of Kerbin. But you may notice that these are jet engines, and you may know that jet engines don't function on Eve. So I'm just really here to show you the stupid plane that I built. It was actually much stupider before. And I gotta move some of these probably inward, because it has issues. Wait, it's supposed to be... oh. Turn this off. Okay, let's try that, because it likes to shake itself to pieces. I figured I'd basically show you the most unusual one, the most unusual solution I had, and then I'm going to show you and explain to you my actual solution for Eve. Let's just throttle up here. Turn on SAS. I think it's turning a little bit. There's actually really no harm in throttling all the way up with this. It's pretty stable. It just shakes. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, get off the ground. It shakes, and I don't know why. Hey, that's better. Oh, no. I don't know why, but it does. I mean, I'll adjust my heading, and it'll go back to doing that. The plane, I'm pretty sure, is nose heavy, so it just wants to nose over. The thing with this is, the original intention of the design was to cruise relatively level for a while, and then dip down and go screaming upwards when you wanted to get out of the atmosphere and activate this engine, because you're going to get to a point where these guys are going to flame out. And actually, I put in commands so that you could disable them a pair at a time. So that when you got up high, you wouldn't have flameouts too early. And then you'd activate the rocket engine, and you'd leave the atmosphere. And then... I'll just go through the stages, because I can't land this thing. Then you'd... let me cut the engines. You'd dispose of the wings in not quite so crazy of a fashion. This fuel tank would have already been used, so let me just get rid of it. I'm gonna try and go back to land, but I'm not gonna make it. So in case of emergency, shouldn't this have popped? Whatever. It's supposed to have deployed the parachute, but it didn't. Maybe... oh, I probably changed that after I made the save. But it ejects and deploys the parachute, and the engine just goes flying away and into God knows where. We have a light. We actually had more than that. What is that? Oh, it's one of those. But yeah, Tom Kerman will make a nice landing. Let's revert to flight. Let's go back to the spaceplane hangar. I specifically asked for no one to use the doors to my room, and a person has already walked completely through, gone to the basement, and left through the other door. So spaceplane hangar is not where we're going to be doing this, even though it's part of my ultimate plan. The Eve plane version 1, or the remodeled, is not actually part of that plan. It doesn't. It's not as nice as I would have liked it to be. Which is why I actually changed some of the components out to make it more usable in atmosphere. I swapped the. Oh yeah, let's do this next. I swapped the nuclear engine for that LVT-45. Okay, however, this is the EVA Fire. Oh right, it has these 2 sets of boosters. EVA Fire has made it to Eve. Can land on Eve, can't leave. No pun intended. It cannot get off the surface of Eve because that's an LV-909. Even if it didn't, it wouldn't have the. Even if it did, it wouldn't have the fuel to make it out of the atmosphere. But this was my second, or well, no, this is my first try to get to Eve. It works, ish, but not very well. Also, I just had an idea in case I ever do want to use this. I'm gonna move this down because something just reminded me about that ladder. Let's go grab some ladder bits. Kerbals are pretty handy with ladders. Okay, that's that. It works, but not well. I mean, it gets there, but it doesn't come back. The plan is to get there and come back. Now let me load up the Planetary Bus. This is actually not the finished design, believe it or not. Well, it is sort of. We have all these engines and boosters. This is kind of my standard launch thing. I'm gonna change this, probably. It gets off the ground, it gets to orbit. And we have these guys to stabilize the orbit until the engines arrive. The engines attach to here. There will be 3 engine segments, which we will have to design, and I'm going to go design them. And they can be swapped out at will, because they're docked to it. And then we have this docking port for no reason. We have a control, which is robotic. And then down here we have these ports. These ports are where you dock the things that you're bringing along. Because this is supposed to bring space planes to Eve. I designed it to do that, so these guys won't be here. The space planes will have an inline clampatron, which you'll attach to this, so then you'll have a space plane hanging off the back of this ship. And it'll be a little bit unbalanced, but in the grand scheme of things, when we're gonna have, I think I said 9 in total nuclear rocket motors, or maybe we'll do 3, I don't know. We'll have to test fuel consumption. Great, I need to get a new one. This is why I'm really waiting for the next update. We're gonna get those segments. I know what I'm gonna do with this. I think I know how this ship's gonna be designed. I'm just gonna start and keep talking. The final plan is to have a ship which will deliver its cargo to Eve. And be able to come back without needing refueling. Sorry, I was just thinking. We needed a, not clampatron, the other thing's decoupler. No, wait, flip this around. This is going to be the engine section of the ship. And then I'm going to have to run a test, because I'm not sure if something works. I understand that something... This is... I think I know what fuel cross-feed capable means, but I'm not sure. Lawsuit's still pending. But my interpretation of what that means is that I can stick engines on the bottom of this, and they'll work using the fuel from here. I'm not sure how you spell nacelle. I think that's close. We're gonna go out to the launch pad and test this thing. Time warp. That was a decent show. It does! Okay, what? This is... It didn't work for me before. And of course the nuclear powered rockets don't have enough oomph to get this thing off the launch pad. But, point being, this works. This is what I wanted to work. I wonder how long I'm gonna have to burn. Not time warp. No, I want to do physics warp. What is that? Shift? No. Don't remember what physics warp is. I feel like it's definitely one of these sets of buttons. Tempted to check. I'm about to check. It doesn't tell me that from there. Oh well. Resume flight. What could be the buttons? I'm looking over my keyboard. No, that does that. Time warp again. Nope, that's time warp still. Huh. I want to remember what physics warp is, but I don't actually feel like doing the research to figure it out. Whatever. This can't lift this. It doesn't need to, though. Also, it burns for a really long time, which is good. Let me test something. If I have fuel tanks. Oh, wait. And then rockets under. Hey. Let's get different rockets. Let's get ones that can actually get off the launch pad. Let's get LVT-45s. Hopefully these guys will do that. Wait. Yeah, these are the 45s, these are the 30s. 45s are gimbal. Yeah, okay. Try this. Oops. Okay, so that's working too. Okay, now here's the test. Does it only work in one direction? Haha, one direction. No, let's get one of... Fuel crossfit capable. It's probably gonna tip over, but I'm trying it. Okay, it works backwards too. Did not work last time I tried it. Oh, that was weird. Alright, well, let's swap this back to our... I mean, I gotta make this thing look cool. So, instead of doing this, what I'm gonna do... Let me get one of those nose cone... Or not nose cones. Cone things. These guys. Alright, and... one of these. Tri-adapter. Tri-adapters look weird. Let's get some of the nukes. Not sure if they look cooler by themselves or with engines or with little fuel tanks above them, but they're gonna be like that for now. And then let's get little stubby... No, let's not actually. Let's just get some docking ports. Put into dual mode. It's gonna be dual. Alright. And the other one on the side is if I'm attaching a refueler. Now we just need to get this thing into space. And I left the cube behind. Whoa, okay, no, don't do that. Quit doing that! I had it how I wanted it before. Dang. There. It's better. Well, now we just need to put things on this. I know now. Let me grab some decouplers. Wrong category again. I do that all the time. I mess up the decouplers and the docking ports. And so we have our LVN shields. That's not the right one. This guy needs to go upside down. Not in triple mode. Oh, we also need RCS on this. And RCS ports, of course. Hold on. Let me just go grab all the things that are important for flight. RCS ports. Put them where I normally put them. On the side of this. Down here. Oh, whoa, oh. Whoa, whoa. In other oops. I was about to make a excellent segue that isn't really a segue to GTA Online. I mean, I don't actually own GTA, unfortunately, or else I'd be playing it. But it came out, apparently had a rather shaky liftoff. No Kerbal Space Program puns intended, even though it just happened. Alright, you know what? I'm confident this can get into the atmosphere without wasting any fuel, and I'm gonna tack some more stuff on up here. so that it can maneuver without using any of the fuel in the LVNs. Or for the LVNs. And those things that I'm going to... Actually, I'll tack them on after I add the things for the orange tanks. And my foot is unbelievably asleep. Like, it's so asleep, you wouldn't even believe how asleep it is. Okay, let's get a thingy. Sete couplers, oh. The reason it can do it right is because it, I now almost always use asparagus staging. By almost always use, I mean I've made one rocket in the last week and it's been on that one, so it's been on 100% of the rockets I made last week. Oh, just kidding. The Eve of Fire too. So it's been on 50%. Close enough. Let's get some strut connectors. Oh, let's zoom in. That's not in. Alright, zoom out. Connect these to here. That's a little crooked, but that's okay. It's probably going to cause it a pinwheel, though. Connect that to that. And now we have most of a rocket. I'm going to include drop tanks. As I do, let's grab some more of these. Or we're using the different kind of decouplers right now. And let's get... what is it? This. Alright, and let's get some fuel ducts, because we're going to need a bunch of them. But these are going to feed in like that. And I'll do the staging later, but I really just should get this done, and then I'll worry about how everything connects. Although, these guys... Oh, for goodness sake, you can't be on like that. Alright, not that one, not that one, this one. And then this one. Not that one already has it. This one. And then this one feeds in, so let's zoom in again. I always hit negative for zoom in immediately, and I don't know why. And then let's spin ourselves around. That was the least enthusiastic rendition of that song in the world. Find me a worse one, I dare ya. Alright, so first things first, this needs to go in there. Everything's gonna be firing at once. Another thing that needs to be connected, or another thing that needs to be added, 12 solid fuel boosters. Oh, and these guys. What are these called? The Launch Stability Enhancer. I knew they were the something enhancer. I still don't know how the hydraulic detachment manifolds are any different from these guys. I'm gonna guess that they aren't. They're just a different size. Yeah, they're big. Unlike the Eva Fire that I showed you, this is not gonna have two sets of boosters. Oops. And that's no. No, just that one click over and this one as well. Click. No. It's such a pain to line these guys up. That looks good. Just making sure they're resting on their decouplers correctly. And now let's add all of these to the stage with the engines. Add these to the stage with the engines too. And then put these together in their own stage. Put that right after that. So we have this where everything launches, then this where these detach. The only issue with this I've found is that the mainsails actually burn out, the first set of mainsails actually burn out all of their fuel before, believe it or not, before the solid fuel boosters are empty. Why is that so far off? Oh, because it's these guys are off. Right, that's better. Ah, wait, no. We need 6 of you, not 1 of you. There we go. Now it's all good. We need these guys plus just a little bit more because I found that these guys are good, but they're not quite enough. And I did the thing that I didn't need to do. Just like the fuel ducts, I have to do this manually because it's not symmetrical on all sides. This is one of those times where I really wish that the system, how it works, didn't do that. Although there are times where I'm glad it does. It just makes my life easier. This one needs to get raised a little bit, and that way there's there's room for the fuel duct underneath. Grab the fuel duct. And I was honestly about to take this guy out to the launch pad and launch him, but that's not what we have to do. We need to save this, load up the hub, not the recovery unit with hub, but the, where is it? Planetary Bus hub. Also, I'm going to state something that I may have figured out, and it might just be completely dumb. But, and this is probably only going to be made useful by the advent of the selection thing where you have the sets of parts. That's coming in 0.22. But I'm thinking that if someone built a plane with a Rockamax hub and 4 of the decouplers, you could park it, you could slide it into a connector that you basically built around it. Let me just actually go on new here, because we can do that anytime. Let's say you have your space plane. And you have your... I'm gonna try and make this as realistic as possible, even though it's only a mock-up. You have your... This is a space plane, so you have your reaction control system and your SAS module. And instead of having like an inline clampatron, you have a Rockamax hub. And I know it's unwieldy, and this guy is heavy as balls, but I actually did think it was smaller. Although, you could probably do it with just, like, a structural fuselage, or... hold on. It's the wrong one. If you got a couple of those, maybe 3 of them, and you took docking ports, maybe even mini docking ports. Let me see. Docking ports work, Mini docking ports would probably be better. But then you had another set of these guys attached to, you know, some sort of space station, some sort of spacecraft. Let's use... You know what I wish, actually? I wish there were the other sizes of structural fuselages. You know how there's that structural fuselage? I wish there were the bigger ones. That's no good. That's too small. Like, you go into a space station that's like this. It's representative of the space station. But the ship flies up inside of it like this. Maybe these wouldn't be so, Let's say the station ends here. And then you have the station's engines. Like that. Or maybe not. Maybe you have them, like, across in the middle so you're not hitting the wings. Or whatever you do. But this is you have your space station that extends up and out, you know, it extends above this and eventually probably caps off somehow in probably like this hitchhiker storage pods up here. And you fly the plane in here and it connects like that. I just thought that would be cool. That's my idea. Let's go load up the interplanetary bus and get it out there into space. Also, it just occurred to me that I completely forgot to do the staging for the nacelle, but I'll do that when we get back. Let's just send this thing out to the launch pad. If I remember correctly, the staging for this one should be all set. If you can tell, it really takes off. I'm gonna throttle down on the mainsails because I know we'll, I need to keep, you see this, it's actually pretty handy that this one is right there. Because then we can keep an eye on this liquid fuel, which is of the lowest rocket, versus the solid fuel, which we kind of need to keep the solid fuel below the liquid fuel, or else we run a danger of the staging completely screwing up. It seems to be working pretty well. And the cockpit isn't even wobbling that much, so we're having a good day today. Probably not too windy at the Kerbal Space Center. Drop those. Drop those. Okay, staging is still screwed up. Hold on. No, staging is not screwed up. I just did it early. Okay, my bad. Yes. Let's try that again. Revert to launch. I'm gonna crank it up to there. Hit SAS and get off the ground. Also, I have on my checklist of things to do, I need to design the refueler version 2. It's going to have the double solids. I don't think it has any solids right now. It's going to have the double solids that the EVA Fire has. It's going to have larger fuel capacity. The engines on the sides are going to have their own fuel containers. The second to last stage is going to work. It's going to have more power, or it's going to have more fuel, I mean. Now we can drop those. Oh, we're still overheating slightly. It's okay, we're gonna have to press past this overheating, hopefully. I hope that we get to 10,000, because you don't want to begin your gravity turn after, or before 10,000, or else you're just trying to cut through really thick atmosphere. I learned that from Kurt, who apparently learned that from Scott Manley. So go those guys. I actually subscribed to Scott Manley. I mean, I was holding off for no good reason. And then I watched a couple of his videos. I think I watched the one with the Orion space carrier or whatever. And I thought he was pretty cool, and his accent is ridiculous and pretty cool. No, actually, the first video I think I ever watched from him, aside from the Reaching the Speed of Light, which I did watch a while ago, was the one where he recreated the ship from Star Citizen. And he was flying it around because it was a space plane. And it's kind of what gave me the idea to take a space plane to Eve. And then I did some research and I learned that on Eve, jet engines don't work. Which is unfortunate. But jet engines don't work, so you have to use rocket engines. So I'm gonna have to look up what's the best in the atmosphere for fuel consumption, because rocket fuel is expended very quickly when compared to jet fuel. I'm pretty sure, I have a feeling it's the Aerospike, but I'm not gonna bet on it. But that's a project for after we get this whole thing assembled. What is that? It's probably Minmus. Yeah, it's Minmus. Let me zoom back in here so I know what I'm doing. Last time I had to drop these 2 tanks, and I had a orange tank and a half left in my main stage. Which is pretty good, which means I could use this setup to launch a space station pretty easily. So this is going to be my go-to method, which is also why I'm glad for the new parts arranging system that's coming out. Because we're going to have the ability to swap rockets, basically. It's also the reason why on the what did I just call it? The other ship, the nacelle. I only had 1 fuel tank on here because I know we'd have a whole extra one to spare as long as I do the launch even remotely correctly. And of course, if I don't do it remotely correctly, we're going into the ground anyway, so. Something else I noticed, a kind of little cheaty thing, was if you ever want to stop your spaceship from rotating, turn on time warp. It helps. Like if I was flipping end over end and I hit time warp, as long as I'm not in the atmosphere and I'm not undergoing acceleration, like your engines are off and everything, it'll stop your ship from flipping. Of course, that's not as intended because there we go, there go those. It's not physics warp. So it isn't designed to do that. And you're not supposed to do that anyways. I thought I just saw another piece of debris up here somewhere. And I was like, uh-oh. But this world is not... Oh, that's warp. This world is not nearly as littered with debris as my other one is. Like, let's just look on here. I have 47. I have over twice that. Easily over twice that on my single-player world. Today. Come on, noodle ship, let's do this. Oh, wait. That's a 95. That's a 105. We have to do docking. Give myself a minute to get into good position for this. When you have a wobbly ship, new SAS doesn't help. In fact, it makes it worse, especially if you're tapping. Gene 16. We just tack on that. Make sure again that we're aiming in the right direction. Whoa, okay, that was bad. Now we're off even more. I expected to see them spin around, and I hit shift again by accident. Hold on. Let's see if I can nail this. Ah! I feel so bad doing it, though. It's such a cheaty thing to do. Also, something I'm going to do very soon is pre-order Battlefield 4. I'm not sure why originally I wasn't, but something changed my mind, and now I really want it. Though I'm not sure how it's going to perform on, basically what's old tech now. And I'm not getting for the PC. I don't trust this PC to run it very well, but then again, the Xbox probably won't run it so well either. I don't know. I'm just gonna go get it at GameStop for Xbox. I haven't played BF3 in a while. I'm probably gonna have fun unlocking all this stuff again, though. I'm gonna wait until this thing spins all the way around. And then I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I think I should just end the episode. We got this thing in orbit. This is what's gonna take us to Eve. I'll tell you once I get the Eve plane up and running. Don't expect that to be soon. Next episode, hopefully we'll launch 3 rockets. Maybe I'll have some sort of sick editing thing. We'll launch 3 rockets, get them into orbit, and dock them to these 3 ports. Oops. Open. And then we will have our rocket. And then we'll dock a spaceplane to this. Not quite as cool as the quad port carrier thingy, but still cool. Let's eclipse the sun. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'm probably going to go try some of this stuff out in single player. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm pretty sure I already said that. Trainman out.